Darn it. This is a case of going missing a braid further up where I added the strand. So I'm actually going to unbraid 10 inches or so, which is irritating, but I'd rather fix it right. Up here, I went over instead of under when I switched to 24 plate. Literally where I went from 20 to 24 plate, which is irritating, but the only way to fix something effectively is to back it up a little bit, which is irritating, but I was busy braiding instead of paying attention. I was on autopilot, so backing up nearly a foot of 24 plate. Just fix a missed stitch. Because this strand should not be on top, it should be under this strand. It should be up here where I added the strands. Not because I wasn't paying attention. This is a 6 foot, 1 inch diameter reverse build bullwhip. And I do a lot of stuff live so that I can show, even if you make mistakes in the process, if you catch them, you can back up and go forward to a certain extent. And as irritating as it is to have to back up a foot, it's better than having a off balance pattern. So I hate off balance patterns. Or out of balance patterns, or whatever you want to call it. Whenever you braid stuff the other end, braid it the other way down below. It's one of the challenges when you're doing bigger whips. And this is the strand that is trying to pop out on me. strand. Okay. This is the new strand. That's the new strand from up above coming in. Now it's under 6/6 all the rest of the way down this width because we're doing 24 plate. This is about an inch. And the angle's going to change a little bit because we added 10 millimeters in length. Because this cord's about 5 millimeters. If you're watching, thank you for watching my live stream. Some stuff I do is pretty neat. This is a 6-foot, what I call a traditional bullwhip. It's about an inch in diameter, steel shot loaded, 3 hand-laid plated layers on top of an 11-layer core. But it's a reverse bill, which makes the end of it have a loop or an English eye for quick attaching of falls. And there's the new strand, so I can't really tug him down tight immediately. But as I lock the rest of this together, then he'll get tensioned in. Adding 4 strands at a time to keep the rings going is a bit of a challenge, but so is dropping strands and the lack of strand length calculation past the first thing. I find easier in some ways. Plus I like the cleaner look of the finished whip without a big old falls hitch and having to worry about fuzzies protruding. If you're new to my live streams, I tend to talk probably too much about what I do and why I do it. This is a 24 plate whipmaker plate, so going under 6, and there's 3 and 3, so over 6. Splitting them in half as we go. I'm shooting this with a vertical mounted cell phone, so the cell phone's obviously not right in front of me. So I can't really tell what people are typing for a minute. Okay, so these haven't been tensioned up, but as I pull on these and lay these strands in, it'll tension a wrap and a half or 2 wraps up. You see that tug in there, and that strand is up to this strand. Mm-hmm. And I lost the strand. That's where I lost it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. So one trick is once you have the pieces, the new strands in, you can just snug them all to lock them in place so that you don't lose the strands. And I'm just putting 15, 20 pounds of tension and pushing my thumb into it and pulling like this just to seat the strands. And you'll see these bumps here. What's up, Alexis Lagunas? Thank you for the likes, whoever's giving me some likes. Appreciate you. I'm building a 6-foot, 1-inch diameter. This is the second belly in this whip, and this is the overlay. This is a 3 hand laid platings whip. It's kind of a rodeo style, but it's reverse built. And then I'll be waxing this whip in a bit. I might take the tripod outside and wax it. Let people see that process. Although it's like watching the bubbles come out is neat. It's neat for a few seconds. It's not something people want to watch hours of. They've only got one waxed whip order, which is this one. As you snug these down, make sure they're snugging down in order and that you haven't lost the order of the strands or crossed something. Go over one of these. Yep, I lost the order. I'm laying these too close to 60 degrees because I added 2 strands. I need to be more like 50 degrees instead of 60 degrees. Top of the red on the left side goes underneath the red. So I chose a scarlet red for this because I'm waxing it and it'll become like almost like a burgundy, like a dark red when I'm done waxing it. The color mostly darkens with wax. Sometimes it changes its tint a little bit besides. Which means this whip will look a little different. This strand should be this strand. is. And this looser strand. I might have to be laying these at closer to 60 degrees instead of 45. But you get the idea. One trick you can use is you can grab the top 5 or 6 and tug them kind of upwards. Just to get the strands to not have gaps. This is a process. Everybody does this when they're braiding whips a little bit differently. I'm self-taught at this. I learned from trial and error. I made a lot of errors, but I learned a lot in the process. So I'm trying to share with anybody out there that's interested in making whips and different ways to go about things. Don't be scared of failure. It's the best teacher. Always trying to learn from mistakes. This is a 24 plate pattern, so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and the 6th one is red. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and the 6th one is red on the right side. So this one is this one. This one's that wrinkly one up there. And you'll work the wrinkles out as you go. A lot of whips I plated about 45 degrees, where they make a 90. But this whip is a little bigger diameter than the cord. The problem is if I go up by 1 cord, I need to go up by 2 to keep the pattern, which would put it at 28 plate, and it would also add a little bit to the thickness. I'm trying to keep this one at just under 1 inch in diameter at the hilt. So I'm trying not to add extra strands that I don't need. I'd rather have the lower angle and better core compression as I go. So I don't make a tremendous number of whips. I just try and put out the best quality whips that I can. I'm not a big shop. I'm an enthusiast who loves what he does. People want good whips, I'll build them a nice whip. And material matters because this has 2 bellies of 650 paracord. Each one adds 4 millimeters in diameter. So the first one adds 4 to the core. The core is about 1/2 inch. You add another 4 for the next pass, and then the overlay adds 4. Quickly you end up at 25 millimeters. And so, but, you know, like my stuff, subscribe. I'll show you guys the whip test when I go test this whip out. You can tell me what you think when I'm done with it. You can always use more subscribers interested in whips or whip making or breeding or paracord stuff. All this stuff takes time though. I think the world needs more makers. People interested in making high quality things, all of which take years to master all the different techniques. It requires a lot of patience. This strand here is this one here. So you can notice I'm plaiting loose, but I'm pulling it tight before I lay it. It's easier on my hands than plaiting it at full tension. Destroying your hands, it's not worth it. Not worth destroying your hands. So this strand here is this one. Scoot back. This is a 6 foot 24 plate bullwhip for performer. And it's being reverse plated. So I'm plating it from the tip to the hilt. So I'm adding strands on the center bite as I go. But we're already at 24 plate. So and I made the mistake of not closing the office door. Now I'm back to where I undid it, basically. It only took me 39 minutes to go a foot after unbraiding it. But there's people a lot faster than I am at all this. Down to the last couple feet. So I probably have about an hour of doing this. before I'll get to the end of the whip. And then I've got an hour to put or two to put the ball on the hilt. I find doing this kind of stuff soothing. Well, I'm going to have to take a break. My hands are killing me. Keep an eye out. You can subscribe to the channel if you want, and you'll see me when I come on, or if you like the video, it probably will show you some more of my videos. It's a nice thing when people come join me and watch me braid, work on stuff. But this pattern creates rings of a color all the way down the whip. So this is 24 plates. So there's 6, 1 red followed by 5 blacks, 1 red followed by 5 blacks. I'll show you what the rest of the whip kind of looks like. Goes all the way up to just red. So it goes from 4 to 8 to 12 to 16 to 20 to 24. So I will I'll be back in a bit, but I'm going to give my hands a break because I've been braiding for about an hour, and you don't want to overwork your hands or your hands will make you wish you didn't do that. The garbage bags are full of rawhide, just tempering for another project. So I am different. I work with leather, rawhide, paracord, all sorts of different materials. So you have a wonderful day.